Alright fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters, and tomorrow we're going to begin the release of Dexio and Espeon for part 2 of the new, start of the EV week, 2-week celebration. They like to say EV Day, but it's not EV Day, it really isn't. So yeah, Dexio and Espeon. This is a really, really strong Psychic Tech type. Good damage dealer. His utility is less that of a tech and more so just that of a techie striker because fuck rolls, and honestly I'm all for it just because it makes him strong. He's a tech support character. He's Psychic, as said, Dark Weakness. He drops November 17th, leaves December 6th, about 2 or 3 weeks to pull for him, about average, right? And he's strong. He's very strong, and if you somehow don't manage to have a good Psychic type character, you got one if you pull for him, right? Elias needs to get Psychic, Kalos, Battle Facility Foe, and Knowledgeable. Looking at his stats, he's got 160 defense, 178 special defense, 424 special attack, 645 health, and 341 speed. These stats are nothing crazy. Special attack's good, the defenses are pretty weak, HP's pretty weak, but of course with different levels of investment that goes up. Like 486 special attack, that's really good. 208 defense, 226 special defense, that's pretty decent defensive stats of an offensive character. Nearly 400 speed and 775 health, and he does have the Support EX roll, which boosts his defenses even further to that of being very respectable for a tech type. 248 defense, 266 special defense, and 835 health. And with Super Awakening, that goes even higher. Over 500 special attack, over 260 defense, 280 special defense, over 900 health, 434 speed. Yeah, he's cooking in the stats department at varying levels of investment for sure. So, definitely good, right? Which is what we expect. He's got Psychic for his main damaging move, 3 gauge, 99 power, 10% chance to debuff special defense. Nothing crazy. It's just his damaging option. It's more crazy once you get down to his buddy move, Psychic Light of Dawn, which fucking okay, man. Calm down with these Elden Ring ass names. 3 gauge, 1 power, or sorry, 1 power, no, 1 use. Fucking 1 power, imagine that. 200 minimum power, 240 max power. Okay. Activated whenever his special attack is raised, and is deactivated when it's not raised. Pretty easy activation, I'll say. It never misses. It lowers target special defense by 2, applies free moves next to the user, increases special moves next by 1 for the user, and if the remaining MP for the user's Lumberry is 1 or more when attacking, it restores the MP of the buddy move and lessens the Lumberry MP. You catch all that? Probably not. So, special defense debuffs, free moves next, special moves next, and Lumberry usage for NPR. Basically, like, kind of how Cena uses her berries in order to get special moves next buffs. Dexio uses his Lumberries in order to get back his buddy move power, or just his ability to use it, right? Which is pretty crazy considering it's a 200 power move, effectively not spammable, but like you've got a lot of chances to be able to use it, and that's honestly really good. That's a very, very good effect. He's got a real techie trainer move here, and like more supportive, but techie, we'll say. It restores HP by 50% and removes status conditions and applies damage guard to the user. Very, very solid trainer move for being able to manage your healing. Like, this is honestly what I would love to see of a lot of modern, like, striker type of characters, or just damage-oriented characters, is instead of making their buddy move go like, oh, here's plus crit, plus special attack, or whatever else, give them some sort of like bulk or something. Like Dexio's already a tech, so he's going to have a lot of other abilities to like help out his survivability. But for characters that really do focus on damage, being able to get like a free 50% heal, damage guard for taking a sync move or something, that's really helpful. It's like how the Kanto Neo Champions, just red, has Protect, right? Which is able to help him take the sync move or something like that, or just a really high powered attack that could KO him otherwise. And honestly, I really, really do love those type of effects on these characters. So that's very nice. So overall, pretty good moves, right? Lumberry to restore the God of Destruction buddy move, and the Psychic for spamming otherwise, you know, once you run out of Berry MP. Looking at his passives, he's got increasing the amount of gauge slots needed to use attack moves by 1 and powers up the user's moves, which then turn his moves from whatever you want to call this here to fucking Destroyer of Worlds, 148 power Psychic. Yeah, his Psychic goes from 99 power to 148 minimum. At 5 out of 5, it's up to 177. And his buddy moves at 300 power minimum. That's really strong. And then max power of 360. Yeah, and again, you can use that move up to like 4 times or so because of having the Berry NPR, right? 4 times, and that's not even considering what his next passive does. So that's pretty good, yeah. And obviously with different levels of Super Awakening, those moves get even stronger. Like, look at this guy. At 8 out of 10, he has 420 power, nice, on his buddy move. That's really damned insane. We're making Signasuit N look like fodder here, alright? That's crazy. And 207 power on Psychic is nowhere near slouching either. Yeah, that's nuts. His passive, same passive, also raises special attack by 4 and crit by 3 on entry, so this is how he gets his buddy move activated literally on entry, and also how he maxes his crit, so this is how he gets his offensive stats. Again, I think it would be a lot better if we had modern striker damage dealing whatever characters having these same type of abilities, like on entry stat buffs like Ray or Dexio or Akari, or gradual buffs via like honing hit like Signasuit Diantha, Nemona, the Signasuit Train Brothers, right? That would be honestly pretty good for being able to, you know, make a better utilization of the trainer move slot. Anyway, so very good self-sufficiency, of course. Next passive, Team Sync Move, Restore Buddy Move MP 9. Restores 1 MP for the user's buddy move after the team's sync pair uses their sync move. Yep. So this is effectively not only does this move get NPR restoration effectively when you use it for the first few turns because of the Lumberries, but you also get 1 extra usage of it every single sync cycle on top of that. So you have a lot of opportunity to be able to use this buddy move and make very, very good usage of its extremely high base power, even at minimum investment of 300. Yeah, it's pretty good. If you want to, like compare the power, how strong will this move end up being? Just take a look at a character like Ray, who has a similarly high offensive stat. You know, quite a bit higher, but still, look at his power. It's 300. It does not even compare. Well, quote unquote, does not even compare to Dexio's power of 360 at 5 out of 5, and then of course, you know, with Super Awakening goes even higher, which Ray will have that same perk as well, thankfully. But yeah, that's nuts. Comparing that to, like, the power of Ray's buddy move, one of the strongest for sure. That's nuts. Oh boy, we love to see it. That's awesome. Other than that, so yeah, again, he's got pretty much 4 uses of it on demand by using it once, and then the Lumberry and all that. And then he's got 1 usage of it every sync cycle, which is really, really good. And then first Berry MP 0, special boost 3, increasing special moves next by 3 the first time the user's move that have the Berry effect tag reaches 0 in MP, right? So you get +3 special attack for it, or special moves next for that, which is going to be powering up your quote-unquote last Psychic Light of Dawn from using your last Berry, right? And again, also consider on this buddy move, not only is it strong, you're getting gauge management with free moves next, special defense debuffs, and special moves next, right? So he's getting some pretty good shit. Pretty good stuff, right? That's all very, very, very powerful. Good for enhancing his damage, his team's damage, most of the special defense debuffs for team damage, but special moves next, of course, for himself. And yeah. Oh boy, definitely one of the best, like, psychic type damage dealers in the game. I mean, I don't think there's going to be much contention in that. Looking at his grid, 1 out of 5 doesn't really have anything. He's got Dauntless, which is fine. 2 out of 5 he gets Trainer Move Master Healer. Psychic on a roll 9, Psychic Gauge Refresh, Catalyst, Fast Track 9, and Quick Cure and Natural Remedy. Definitely a better 2 out of 5 than Cena's, even if we want to consider Gauntlet utility. Psychic for special defense debuffs, that's very nice. You know, you don't have to rely on the buddy move to be able to debuff special defense in case you want to stall out its usage for later on in the battle or something like that. You can. It works relatively well. Psychic Gauge Refresh, so you don't have to manage horrible gauge against 4 gauges, so do consider that's a lot of gauge. Same thing with having Catalyst and Fast Track. These are gauge management abilities for himself. Very, very good to have. Quick Cure and Natural Remedy as well to get rid of status conditions and status changes is also quite appreciated. And the Trainer Move Master Healer turns his 50% healing, I believe, into 75%, which is really, really good for being able to use this effectively when you're at near death and being able to get back to pretty much nearly full. that's really, really strong for sure. The only problem with it is that he does not have Train Move NPR, but also at the same time, I feel like he would be really strong, at least in a Legendary Gauntlet battle with Train Move Master Healer. That'd be crazy. Either way, yeah, this is a pretty decent 2 out of 5. I'm not going to say it's super worthwhile if you want to just try and enhance his damage or his, like, nuke power or whatever else, which also he does have the innate brain power nuke. Did fail to mention that. But hey, 100% multiplier there if you can max out his special attack, which is not too hard. So that's nice. But yeah, pretty good utility stuff for him if you do want to kind of focus on that. But of course, for more damage, you're going to mostly want to invest in 3 out of 5. Which, 3 out of 5, you get the Grand Entry too, so if you want to max out special attack, there you go. Though I probably would not. I just bring a support. Probably not really worth it. Smarty Pants, Mind Games 9, Brain Teaser, Head Start 1, Berry MP0, Sync Move Power Up 9, 2 Sync Nose, Ramming Speed. There we go. Okay, so Brain Teaser plus Ramming Speed. This is already 2 separate multipliers that enhance his DPS damage, not even his Sync Move. And the fact that that works off is going to be able to power up his buddy move is going to be nuts. Like, I don't think I can stress enough how powerful all of his attacks are going to be. Not even just his buddy move, but consider, like, Psychic. Again, once you get to a certain level of investment, it's like, again, it's 177 power, I think, at 5 out of 5, and then over 200 with the boost from Super Awakening, plus the special attack stats, all of that, Joe. Yeah, he's going to be hitting really hard, not even just on the buddy move Psychic, but also regular Psychic is going to be doing very solid damage in its own right. And then again, you're going to have some sort of nuclear weapon type of explosion pretty much every time you want to use the Psychic Light of Dawn with its 330 power, boosted off of 2 separate multipliers with a 20% multiplier probably in Critical Strike 2 if you opt to run that as the lucky skill. Which is really, really nuts. The only problem with these multipliers is the ability to activate them. Brain Teaser is not bad because you're probably going to end up picking up Mind Games 9 anyway, though if you do run out of grid energy, you might have to forego that for Psychic Gauge Refresh just so you have enough, again, energy to get there. But if you do pick that up, then of course, Brain Teaser getting activated is not going to be too difficult. But Ramming Speed, of course, you will either want to pick up Fast Track, which is going to cost a lot of energy to try and pick that up, or you're going to want to bring a support or something that can buff Dexio's speed, or just any other character that can, right? So that is something to consider, is that these are good multipliers for powering up his moves, but getting them activated might take some time, and that might, you might not have that power like earlier on when you're trying to use these buddy moves and trying to get super high power out of them, which they're going to be doing good damage anyway, obviously, again, high power, but in terms of having the multipliers activated, it might take a little while. It just depends on the team, depends on turn order, all that stuff. He's also got the Sync multiplier here, a 90% multiplier for whenever his berries have the 0 MP left. It is a 90% Sync multiplier. Combine that with the innate multiplier, he's got about 190% Sync multipliers. But the Tech Sync nuke, that's not too bad. Nothing crazy, but that's pretty good. And then he gets Smarty Pants. And then we get pretty damn good. 280% multipliers. Again, you want special defense debuffs for this. That's very strong. Dexio's gonna have a really good nuke in terms of multipliers and damage, obviously, and then also he's going to have pretty much extra nukes in the form of his buddy move. Yeah, that's really strong. Wow. Okay, yeah, we'll take that. 290% in terms of Sync nuke multipliers, 60% in terms of buddy move multipliers. What else can you ask for a guy? And then, again, if you do need self-sufficiency to activate that, he's got Fast Track, and he's got Mind Games and Psychic on roll 9 if you do want to be able to activate these as fast as possible and as self-sufficient as possible. Other than that, again, Grand Entry 2, not really too helpful unless you do really want to max out special attack by himself. And Head Start 1 here, a little bit of Sync Acceleration, maybe just to run with Cena if you do want to run him as a duo, just so you can get that full Sync cycle in, or turn cycle in, whatever. Otherwise, not really worth considering. It's just kind of there. So yeah, how are you going to be able to even get all of this? Well, you aren't, is the problem. You can't, even at 5 out of 5, you can't get all of it, which really does suck, honestly. You pretty much have to forego the Mind Games 9 for the Psychic Gauge Refresh, which it's pretty unfortunate, honestly. I mean, that's technically the cheapest you can do there, but not really worth it. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's, I mean, if you can get Dexio to 5 out of 5, that's probably about what you're going to want to run, if I were to guess. But, I mean, yeah, again, there's no real ability to activate these multiply super quickly. Like, you're going to be able to activate Brain Teaser and Smarty Pants pretty easily because of the buddy move, but also when you're trying to activate those multipliers, your buddy move is not getting a massive power up because it's the one doing the debuffing, right? And activating speed buffs, you're going to need a support for that, obviously. Or, again, a character that can just buff speed by whatever method. There's plenty. I mean, like, for example, for a more free setup, there's, Bianca has Pep Rally on her Psychic Terrain, a character that powers him up with Psychic Terrain and buffs his speed, just for an example. And also can debuff Special Defense if you have the gauge for it. Anyway, yeah, so his 3 out of 5 is pretty much focused almost solely on boom power, buffing his damage as much as possible via multipliers. So 1 out of 5 starts everything out, 2 out of 5 gets him some utility, and 3 out of 5 just gives him a whole lot of power. Honestly, it's pretty simple. 4 out of 5 he gets Psychic Hit, Special Boost 1, and Super Sync 9. The Super Sync is not bad for the damage challenge. Other than that, I mean, it's just going to be overkill for any Psychic weak enemies. I mean, yeah, go fight against Nemona with it, you'll be fine, right? It's probably going to be pretty good there. This applies Super Effective Next, and again, that's good in the damage challenge because you get that Super Effective Next. You don't have to run a support like... You don't have to run a support anyway to do it, but it also just means that's extra power for that game mode for single target stages, and also for like Nemona it's going to be really good just because you can combine that into usage of the buddy move, which again you get NPR back for that every single sync cycle, and well, super high powered Psychic Blade of Dawn gets thrown right at the enemy, and that's obviously really, really good. Psychic Hit, Special Boost 1, this is just directly increasing the power of Psychic, a move that is, again, already not too bad in power, 169 here at 4 out of 5, again, gets higher, and that gives it Special Moves Next, and you can potentially chain that into then using the Buddy move, which will then have another Special Boost on it, if you don't want to use it for the next Psychic, however you want to chain that. 5 out of 5 gets guaranteed crits. Again, this probably just makes the damage challenge easier because he's already got guaranteed crits from +3 crit on entry, so his moves can already guarantee crit, and the sync move again with that 80% chance because go fuck ourselves, I guess. This could be helpful. Damage challenge, I mean, still, I don't know if I'd pick it up because considering it's a single target nuke, how bad is it going to be? It can be pretty bad, but still. But yeah, I don't see too much value on this node. And then 5 out of 5, Sync move, Special Boost 2, giving you +2 special moves next. Combine that with like Super Syncer or whatever else, and you can get yourself some extra power on that next usage of the Buddy move, which again you're restoring every time the team Sync move is used. So it's got good usage there. Other than that, not too crazy of a tile considering everything else is already powering up the move so strong, it's kind of just going to get diluted in those buffs. But it's going to be strong nonetheless, so if you do want to pick that up to power up your next Buddy move, go for it. Overall, though, definitely, no, 3 out of 5 is definitely his sweet spot. 4 out of 5 is good for the damage challenge with Super Sync. Other than that, I wouldn't say 5 out of 5 investment's super worth it, or 4 out of 5 worth it is investment outside of it. Is worthwhile outside of that game mode. Though 4 out of 5 is also good for powering up Psychic. However you want to choose it. Again, we've already got a whole lot of energy to try and make work within the sync grid here. And again, consider that 5 out of 5 might be worth it simply for the fact that you can pick up everything that you want, like ramming speed, berry, sync move, NPR, these sync tiles and whatnot. I'm pretty sure you can make do without the sync tiles, but also at the same time you're sacrificing a lot of your sync power that way, so just keep that in consideration. Yeah, you can run something like that, or just, yeah, you can run 1 sync tile maybe. However you want to do it, go for it. There's a 3 out of 5 grid right there. Yeah. There's a 3 out of 5 grid if you want to just sacrifice the sync tile, go for it. Anyway, other than that, he's got Super Awakening, of course, which powers up his stats. Again, we already looked at these, and these are really good stats for the power buff. At 7 out of 10, he gets a sync power buff of 30 extra power. That's nice. Combine that with some sync tiles, he gets even more, right? 440. At 8 out of 10, whatever. 3 out of 5 Super Awakening, whatever you want to call it. He gets extra power on his Buddy move and his regular move, which honestly I think might be the best buff that he can get from these. 207 power Psychic and 420 base power Psychic Blade of Dawn is really, really strong, especially considering, you know, that's a 30% increase in power for, well, not 30%, but 30 power increase on Psychic, and then a 60 power increase on the Buddy move there. Pretty sure that is 30% actually. Anyway, that's really, really good. No, it isn't. It's not 30% because it would be over 100. Anyway. But yeah, that's a really, really good power buff for him. Oh boy. We're getting a little bit strong here, aren't we? With another level of investment, 9 out of 10, he gets an extra power buff for his sync move, which goes up by 90. That's really good. 530 base power sync move combined with the multipliers he's got. That's going to be really, really strong. So honestly, 9 out of 10 investment is definitely not bad for him. And 10 out of 10 investment. Oh, okay. Debut Psychic Terrain, Debut Special Boost 3, Adrenaline 2. None of these abilities are really that fantastic. Debut Special Boost 3, the special moves next are not going to be super useful because, again, this is the same problem as Cena, where on like the first turn of battle, you're not going to have that much power because of no sync buffs, no debuffs, no multipliers activated, all that stuff. So these moves are not going to be hitting super hard, so the special boost is not really that big of a deal, not that big of a game changer. Debut Psychic Terrain, this is not great because it's not extended, even and you can pair it with a character that can extend it, like Signature Lana or whatever, but she also sets it on entry, so why does that even matter? And even another character that can extend it, it's not really that big of a deal, because if a character can extend it, they can already probably set it quite a few times anyway. Let's be honest. And then Adrenaline 2, reducing sync countdown by 2 the first time the sync moves used each battle. This is not bad. I mean, he's got support EX sync anyway, so you probably want to sync with him first, second, something like that, depending on what your support is, right? Like, if you want to run with, like, Champion Rosa himself and, like, Signature Lana or whatever, just throwing ideas out there, you'll sync with Rosa first, then him, get the support EX in, and you can get some extra sync acceleration in with it, which is pretty nice. I mean, it's good and all that. And it does help if you do want to try and chain in an ability like the special moves next or the super sync into the next usage of his buddy move, because obviously with NPR restoring, your buddy move will take that animation, meaning you can't quad Q it. So if you have 0 MP left on your buddy move, you use your sync move, you cannot quad Q your buddy move, I believe, because it's still restoring its MP. I'm pretty sure it works like that. I could be wrong, though. Anyone wants to go ahead and quote me on that, go for it. But you can't quad Q it, and then this Adrenaline kind of makes up for that because you still got that sync acceleration from if you were to have actually managed to quad Q, and you'll be able to still queue up the buddy move for your next attack, for that special boost, and that super effective next move, if you can kind of understand what I'm saying there. So, yeah. I mean, that's probably the most useful ability, but still, it's just 2 sync countdown. You can make that for that with whatever partners you run, and sometimes it's not even that big of a deal. I'm just saying that it's not really that worthwhile to invest in a 10 out of 10, unless, of course, he's like a favorite character or whatever. I mean, he gets a lot more from the stat buffs and the move power-ups and whatnot than he does the actual passive, so just keep all that in mind. This is one thing I really don't like about Super Awakening for these characters, these new characters, is that a lot of times they could get bad buffs. Older characters can too, but also at the same time, newer characters who are already going to be really good, like Dexio would have been really good without Super Awakening, let's be honest here. He could have gotten this buff, a year or two down the road, and this could have given him some actually good stuff instead, or some buffs that would have made him more relevant again. So, whatever. It's fine, though. I mean, he'll live. He's strong enough anyway. Again, 9 out of 10 is, I'm not going to say a sweet spot, but, like, really where you probably want to stop investing if you really want to preserve your Super Awakening stuff, which most people probably aren't going to do that for this character anyway, let's be honest. But yeah, whatever. I mean, point is, Dexio's very strong, stupidly strong, actually. It's crazy single target damage dealing character, and if you do need one of those for your psychic types, go for it. He's going to be very, very helpful for you. So yeah, I'll see you later. Hope you all enjoyed. Good luck on your summons. Good luck on your skipping. Happy EV week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long this lasts. And yeah, I'll see you all later. Peace.